If you're seeing this, you're already part of the future.
All right, let's get into it. If you think mind mapping is just about drawing a few bubbles on a page, you are seriously missing out on its real power. Today, we're going to blow past the basics and show you how to truly master this thing, and in the process, completely transform how you think, how you plan, and how you create. Let's get started. So, first off, why should you even care? Get this. Research shows that when you combine an image with a word, that information becomes a staggering 6 times more memorable than just using the word alone. 6 times. Your brain literally locks it in, which makes remembering stuff almost effortless. So, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with the science, why this works. Then we'll cover the core rules you just can't break. After that, I'm going to give you 3 super powerful frameworks you can start using today. Then we'll look at what separates the pros from everyone else. And finally, I'll give you a simple challenge to make this whole thing a lifelong skill. Okay, so let's dig into why mind mapping works so well. It all boils down to this idea called radiant thinking. See, unlike a regular to-do list, a mind map actually copies the way your brain thinks. Not in rigid, straight lines, but in a sprawling, beautiful web of interconnected ideas. And this is what's so cool about it. You're basically getting your entire brain to show up to the party. When you use words and logic, that's your analytical left brain firing up. But the moment you add colors, curvy lines, and images, bam, you've just woken up your creative right brain. It's one of the only techniques out there that forces both sides to work together in perfect harmony. And look, the numbers back this up. We're talking a 15 to 20% jump in learning effectiveness for people who use mind maps compared to just, writing notes line by line. It's not magic. It's just a more brain-friendly way to learn. All right, if we're going to build a really powerful mind map, we need a solid foundation. And these next 5 rules, they aren't just suggestions. Think of them as the absolute non-negotiable laws of mind mapping, straight from the guy who invented it, Tony Buzan. So let's run through these 5 laws, and more importantly, why they matter. 1. Always go landscape. This gives your ideas room to spread out, just like they do in your head. 2. Start with an image in the center, not a word. Images stick in our memory way better. And whatever you do, don't put a box around it. A frame literally tells your brain to stop thinking. 3. Your main branches have to be thick and curved. Why? Because curves are just way more interesting to your brain than boring straight lines. 4. Use single printed keywords. This keeps things clean and powerful. And 5. Use at least 3 colors. Colors help organize information and spark all kinds of creative connections in your brain. Okay, we've got the rules down. Now for the fun part. Let's put this into practice. I'm about to show you 3 incredibly useful frameworks that you can start using the second this is over. Let's start with a big one. You've got this messy, complex problem staring you in the face. Maybe at work, maybe at home. And you have no idea where to even begin. How do you possibly start to untangle it? Simple. You use the 5W and H framework. Your problem becomes that central image, and then you draw 6 main branches: who, what, where, when, why, and how. This forces you to look at the problem from every single angle. It's so effective, some execs say that up to 30% of their successful problem solving comes from using this one simple technique. Okay, next up. You're managing a project. There are a million moving parts, and you're trying to keep it all straight in your head without losing your mind. What do? For this, we use the project management framework. Your project's name is in the center, and you create 5 main branches: budget, resources, scope, people, and deadline. Right away, you have this incredible bird's eye view, your entire project on a single sheet of paper. And here, you can see exactly what that looks like in the real world. I mean, just look at it. You can see at a glance who's doing what, how the budget is tracking, and if you're going to hit that deadline. It's so much better than being buried in endless spreadsheets, right? So let's say you're in a meeting using that very map, and someone throws out a brilliant idea, but it's a little random. It doesn't really fit under budget or people. What do you do with it? This is a really common problem. This is where the pros use a trick called floating topics. It's so simple. You just write the idea down somewhere on the page, totally unattached to anything. It's like a little parking lot for great ideas. This way, you capture the thought without breaking your flow. Later on, you can figure out where it belongs. It's an absolute game changer for taking notes in real time. And that little pro tip leads us perfectly into our next section. What are those small but really powerful habits that take a mind mapper from good to great? Let's break it down. Okay, check this out. On the left, you've got the common mistakes. On the right, what the experts do. A novice draws straight, boring lines. An expert uses those beautiful, organic curves. A novice clutters the map with long sentences. An expert uses sharp, single keywords and puts all the extra detail into something called topic notes, which is a feature in a lot of software. But maybe the biggest difference of all, an expert makes sure every single line connects back to the center. Everything is linked. And this quote right here, it just nails it. A line left hanging out there on its own, to your brain, that's a completely separate thought. The real magic of a mind map is in the connections. Everything has to be linked together. So, finally, let's talk about how to make all of this stick, because mind mapping isn't just a party trick you learn once. It's a whole new way of thinking. And like any new habit, it takes practice. You've got to forge those new pathways in your brain. And believe it or not, there's actually a number for this. The research suggests it takes a minimum of 12 dedicated mind mapping sessions for a brain that's used to linear thinking to really get on board with this new method. So that's your challenge. Complete 12 maps. Use them to plan your week, solve a problem, take notes on a book, whatever. Just do 12. So there you have it. We've covered the science, the rules, the expert frameworks. You literally have everything you need to go from a beginner to a total pro. The only question left is, are you actually ready to do it? Are you ready to change the way you think? I'd love to hear what your biggest mind mapping challenge is, so let us know in the comments below. And if you want to go even deeper, you can grab the book Mind Mapping Step by Step using the affiliate link in the description. Thanks so much for watching.